We know NoCo. From Town Square Media, this is Tuned Into NoCo. I'm Ashlee Meehleis. Hi, everybody. Good morning and welcome in to Tuned Into NoCo. Today, we have a great individual on our show. We have the Vice President of the Northern Colorado Herpetological Society with us, Kate Boyd. Kate, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, it's great. Now, why don't we start by giving our listeners the down low of what you guys do? What is the Northern Colorado Herpetological Society?
It's a mouthful, first of all. So the Herpetological Society, we started as a small group of folks back in about 2016. We became a full-fledged nonprofit in 2017, and we focus on environmental education, specifically focused around reptiles and amphibians. We do guided hikes in the summertime. We do education programs, traveling to schools with our animal ambassadors. And then another big facet of what we do is also reptile and amphibian rescue. So pets that need new homes, that are displaced for whatever reason, we can take those animals in, whether that's into a foster home or into our shelter facility in Fort Collins, and find them new homes.
That's awesome. And that's something that I didn't know at all, that you guys put these pets up for adoption as well.
Yes, we do.
That's great. So you guys have something really cool coming up. You have a creature concert on March 25th. Tell us about this event.
Yeah, the creature concert. This is our first big benefit concert that we're super excited about. This will be a huge annual concert that we are going to partner with the Lyric and the Bohemian Foundation to create this awesome event that will be an amazing mix of different musical artists. We are going to have our live animal ambassadors there for a little bit of family fun time a little earlier in the evening. We've got different local artists as well as a tarot reader coming as well.
Really?
So this is going to be a really fun event.
That's awesome. And this is all to benefit animals here in Northern Colorado.
Correct. Yeah.
That's great. Now, you guys heard that they have that creature concert on Saturday, March 25th. It's set to start at 5 p.m. at the Lyric. Should be a great time. If you would like more information, you can head to nocohs.org. All right. So, Kate, why do you think this event is so important for our community to get out and support our animals?
This is not only good for our local animal community, especially our rescue reptiles and amphibians, but also just our local artists in our community, whether that is our local musical artists that are being amazing and bringing their time to this event, or our local actual visual artists as well that we'll have. So this event will be super important for our reptiles and amphibians because it will help us to both promote and increase our rescue operations as well as increase our education. So the more education we can get out there into the community, the less animals will be displaced, the more we can help folks keep their animals in their homes as their own animals without being, having to surrender them into our care. And we can also just help our local native species as well with more education, making sure folks know what animals live around us and how to protect those species.
Yeah, and you guys, if you haven't been to the Lyric, it's really cool where they're having this concert. Definitely check it out. Now, Kate, what type of animals do you guys house in your facility?
Yeah, in our facility, we are a little unique because we work with so many different species. Last year alone, we had over 28 different species come through our care,
Really?
And that was over 50 plus different animals throughout the year as well, some of which are endangered and critically endangered species that we were able to help place into species survival plans with zoos. Some of them are a little more common pet species like bearded dragons, ball pythons, leopard geckos, that we're able to find them new homes and get them adopted.
That's awesome. Now, if somebody can't make the concert, can they still donate to you guys?
Oh, absolutely.
And where can they do that?
Yeah, on our website is a great place to go. We have a lot of different options on our website for individual giving, for community giving, and for information about volunteering too. So if you can't give monetary donations, volunteering time, and just being involved with our organization is another great way to give.
Yeah, and speaking of volunteering, do you guys still need volunteers for the concert?
For the concert, I think we have our concert covered with our current volunteers, but we're always looking to add more folks to our team, get folks involved and working with our animals.
What ways can people get involved?
We do have daily animal care opportunities as well as lots of education and outreach opportunities for volunteers to participate in our nature hikes and our education programs working with our animal ambassadors.
Yeah. Well, it sounds so fun. I was looking on your website before we started this interview, and the animals that you have up for adoption are really cool. Like, you have so many exotic animals on there. Some that I didn't even know existed, to be honest. Really awesome. Well, it sounds like a great time. This Creature Concert, again, is happening March 25th at the Lyric. You guys, for more information and how to get tickets, head to nocohs.org. Now, since you guys are a rescue, do you have any stories that you like to share about how you've helped NoCo animals?
Yeah, absolutely. We have done so many different things. There's so many different stories. It's hard to pick one in particular out, but we do have one rescue currently named Lord Marmalade. He's an amazing, wonderful iguana. This little, well, not so little, he's about 4.5 feet long. He's getting quite big, but he is a sweet guy, and he came to us. His story was a little unique in that he was originally brought into a veterinary clinic to be euthanized for aggression. And upon being admitted, the veterinarians, saw a very easy, very docile temperament, very easy to work with. And they were able to work with those owners to convince them to instead surrender that animal to our care. And Lord Marmalade is such a sweetheart. He has had zero behavioral issues whatsoever. He's actually sweeter than most iguanas ever get, which is the complete opposite of what we were expecting with him. Because we always want to work with these animals and be able to do any behavioral work that we need, but he was just a perfect little angel.
Yeah, and that name, that's pretty epic.
Right?
Now, do you guys help a lot of exotic animals here in NoCo? It was surprising to me how prevalent that is here. We're not Florida.
Exactly.
So yeah, what's the story there?
There is an increase in our local community and on the state level where folks are looking to get into owning more kind of those more exotic animals a little bit. We do have some laws and regulations that protect certain animals. Some animals are a little easier for folks to be able to own, and reptiles and amphibians have been a growing trend for folks. They tend to be a little bit easier on the day-to-day care than, some of the birds and mammals. Yeah. And these animals, there is definitely a growing need for rescue for them just because we have seen an increase in their population in captivity locally. And these animals, they live very long lives typically. A lot of the animals live 30 plus years depending on the species, which is kind of a big commitment for folks. And
that is.
With life changes and circumstances changing for people, they aren't always able to keep up with that 30 plus to sometimes 80-year commitment. And so that's kind of where we come in. So we're there to help those animals transition into finding new homes for whatever reason that they need to come into our care.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. It's kind of like a lifelong friend.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Kind of switching gears here. How did you get started with this organization? What's your story?
So I have always just had a huge passion for working with reptiles and amphibians and all animals in general. I'm also a licensed wildlife rehabilitator.
Really?
I first started working in a reptile and amphibian zoo in Minnesota and just absolutely fell in love with these animals and realized how much of a need there was to work with the public and communicate, some of the misrepresentation around them with fear of snakes. These animals are a little harder to read behaviorally, especially when some species don't even have eyelids. They can't blink. They don't have eyebrows, ears, tails, things that we usually take as cues to kind of communicate with animals a little bit.
Right.
So I kind of developed that passion to really want to help educate and represent them in a respectful way. And I've been excited about it ever since. I moved to Colorado. I joined the Herpetological Society back in 2015. It was kind of when we first got together as a group.
Yeah.
And we formalized ourselves as a 501c3 nonprofit in 2017. And it's kind of been a big growth from there. A lot of education has gone into it. And that's one of my favorite parts of it is just working with our animal ambassadors and being able to provide education programs to our community.
Absolutely. And you mentioned earlier about hiking. You guys host some hikes here in Colorado?
We do, yeah. A lot of the natural areas around the Fort Collins, Loveland, Windsor areas. We go out, we lead guided hikes, kind of like birders when they go on birding hikes.
Okay.
It's similar. It's called herping hikes. So we take folks out, we lead them around, we show them different areas where animals may choose to live in their environments, point out what species may be in that area. And a lot of the times we're able to find those species. It's really cool to point them out.
Do you have a favorite species that you work with?
Ooh, I do.
Yeah?
Yes. My absolute favorite species that we have as an animal ambassador, which I'm very excited about, is a hognose snake. They are a native species here that they're pretty small. It's a very small snake species that typically lives out in the plains areas, usually a little further east away from the foothills.
Okay.
But they're super cute. They're very, what's the word I'm looking for? They are entertaining. They're dramatic. They're a very dramatic species. They will actually play dead in front of potential predators. So they will flip over on their back. They'll stick their tongue out to the side and writhe around on the ground and dramatically die in front of these potential predators. So they're really dramatic. They're very small and cute, and they're just funny little creatures.
Do they look like their name? Like, does that adequately describe them?
Yeah. They actually have the very front of their little nose. They have a scale called a rostral scale, which is the very tip of the nose that points and curves upwards and is kind of hard that they use to dig and burrow underground. So that's where they get the name hognose.
Cool. Well, you guys, you learn something new every day. I had no idea. That's awesome. Well, Kate, before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know about what you guys are doing or the event?
We are gearing up for our summer season of lots of different events that we've got going on, from guided nature hikes to just being out at public events like Poudre River Fest and all those amazing festivals that we've got going on over the summer. So keep an eye out for us out and about, and join us at some events, learn about some of these cool animals that we share our local environment with, and maybe sign up to volunteer.
Yeah. And you guys, again, they're hosting the Creature Concert on Saturday, March 25th at the Lyric. It is a benefit to save animals right here in northern Colorado. To get tickets or for more information, you can head to nocohs.org. They also have information on there how to volunteer or to donate if you can't make the concert. Kate, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for listening to What Matters in NoCo. I'm Ashlee Meehleis with Town Square Media's Tuned Into NoCo. If you missed part of the show, you can find it on your Town Square Media station app or website. If you or your organization would like to be considered for Tuned Into NoCo, send me an email at ashlee.meehleis@townsquaremedia.com. That's ASHLEE.MEEHLEIS@townsquaremedia.com.